All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with John from Pro Craps. That song just kills me every day. It's so damn funny. All right, that's YOLO. It's Friday Follies, which means we're not taking anything seriously. However, there will be some nuggets of truth in here today. So we're going to YOLO. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put out all the money that I can. So this is going to be like my local casino with a $500 max. They will let us go to 600 on the 6 and 8 at that casino. And we're going to take one roll. I don't care about the puck. We're just going to take one shot at it and see if random person at the table, guy in the corner, who's going to just literally shake the dice and roll them, can win me a few $100 here. Let's see what happens. Here comes the dice. It is a 5, 3, 8, right? And my streak continues. The YOLO streak continues. That's it. Show's over. Have a nice Friday. Kidding, of course. Right, that is going to pay me, though, $700, which ain't hay, and love it, right? This is going to be our goal today. I'm going to show you how I plan to YOLO to this level at my local casino, and maybe even at DiceCon. I'm going to give you my secret plan here as it goes. So that's it. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm going to come over here and talk to you for just a minute. I don't have anything enlightening to say today, but I just want to say hi in person before I start doing craziness at the table. It's a good Friday. It's a really good Friday today. I'm just going to brag a little bit on my work. As you know, I work at a coding boot camp here in Seattle. So if you're not familiar with what a coding boot camp is, we primarily service adults who want to change their career. So. And this is not a PSA for my company, but just what we do. We, adults that change their careers for whatever reason, right? COVID has forced a lot of people out of their jobs and into like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But before COVID, we were doing this for 8 years before that. And you have folks like we're in construction, we're in the restaurant business, we're in other fields, accounting, whatever have you, got tired of it, wanted to get into tech. They wanted to earn the six-figure jobs. They wanted to use their brains a little more and sort of, maybe they're done with the labor part of it, right? So we always have a lot of, like I said, mostly adults, a lot of military. We have a lot of folks coming out of the military into the civilian life. And like, you have all these great skills when you're in the military, a ton of skills, right? But one thing that the military lacks is building critical thinking, right? Because soldiers are soldiers, right? And so they're working. They got this great ethic, this fearlessness about them, and this duty and honor and loyalty, right? Which they want to harness that in a civilian career. Well, coding is great for that. It's great to unlock that algorithmic thinking that a lot of people think they have, right? And that's we do, right? Well, this year with COVID, it's changed. We've got a lot of people that were forced out of work and aren't choosing tech, but they got forced into tech because they needed a job. And they're graduating and they're getting great jobs. I mean, people are leaving our school, right, that lost a waitress or waiter job at minimum wage or below and are making 110, 120 in 20 weeks. It happens that fast. Well, we've converted the whole system over to high school. So this past year, we had Oregon, Crook County, Oregon, and Redmond, Oregon, both high schools licensed our curriculum. And we trained up a teacher. And they taught that school for a year. They took a 20-week program that's designed for adult learners to go 10 hours a day for 20 weeks. We adapted it to high school. And so we had a teacher teach that same course instead of an 8-hour, 10-hour day in 45-minute chunks for 180 days. And those kids graduated today. And these juniors in high school put together full stack applications, not unlike the goofy app that I wrote for our casino gaming TV for the Friday night fights. Database, UI, API calls, the whole 9 yards, using cloud services. They're 11th graders. And we had the state of Oregon, the government of Oregon was there because they were funding the project. We had representatives from two of the Oregon major colleges, Oregon State and University of Oregon, watching the presentation. In amazement at the students they're about to get as CS majors. And these kids are ready, like they're job ready. They've got like skills in technologies that professional developers don't yet have. We trained them so good for like actual work. So anyway, I'm all, kind of bleary-eyed and teary-eyed because it was an early morning for us. It was that's why we're coming late today. I was watching the graduation. So high schoolers have now completed the first group of high scorers, a program that was designed for adults to go through in 20 weeks. They did the whole thing. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I wanted to brag on them before I do my craziness, because it just happened like literally 20 minutes ago, and I'm still kind of hyped up from how cool that was to watch. And just see, like, you know, I said, people from, you know, that are funding sources for the program, for the school, and colleges that are these kids' targets, and tech companies were there too. Nike was there watching some of this stuff. It's just cool to see that. So it's just badass, and I'm happy to be a part of a for-profit school that actually has some weight and some depth behind it. So anyway, that's it, man. I just want to say all that there. So yeah, Midmoyo, I get to do this every day. I don't teach as much anymore. I was a teacher. This year I transitioned into, last 4 or 5 months, into the directorship role. So I direct all the curriculum. Now I'm here, I guess, but I get a chance to teach every so often. I actually taught last night when I fill in for it's a great job. I love what I do. I love who I do it for. It's awesome. And today was a proud day for me. So I wanted to look in the camera and tell you guys that I'm not just a moron on the camera for you. I actually have a real job, and it's a meaningful job, and I'm proud of what I saw this morning. So that's that. Anyway, let's go to the table. Let's go have some damn fun over here. I'm going to go to let's go to the Zoom view, because I'm going to be dialed in here like tight all day. Bring my coffee over. Got some Starbucks today. I don't get Starbucks very often, but today we're having some Starbucks. And I want to give you my YOLO plan here. So here's my YOLO plan. I'm going to bring up my complicated rack. And what I've got here in my rack is this. I got my lammers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows of 3 lammers. Significant, because I'm going to try and YOLO 24 times. Okay. Now, today when I roll this out, I'm going to ignore the 7s. So you can yell at me later, but I'm going to do it for a reason. I want to show you the plan. Here's the goal. The goal is to get to whatever the hell that is. That's 600. I'm sorry, 1,000, 3,200. I want to get to 3,200 across. I want to get there through YOLO methods over 24 rolls. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to take this down, and I'll leave it here right there as our goal. That's going to be where I want to get to. Can I get to that level with just starting with $100? And by $100, what it's going to look like for us actually is this. We're going to go 10, 20, 30, 2, 44, 54, 64 across, and I've got just a little bit of change. Okay, so I've got my 64, 74, 65 rather, 75, 100. $100. I'll use these to maybe do some power pressing. I'll put this other rack here in front. This will be my money stack, okay? No money's gonna go into that stack, because we're gonna basically power press or full press everything for 24 straight rolls. Now, when I YOLO, my plan for this is exactly this. I bought in last week for $100, a separate $100 than my regular bankroll. And I said, I'm gonna put 64 across, we're gonna take one hit, and I'm walking out of here. The last thing I did before I left that casino, after I won all the money, was to drop $64 out there, take my hit, and get the hell out. So my question is this, and I know the answer, right? The math don't care, the dice don't care, but sitting here and rolling 24 times, can I avoid the 7 24 times? Probably not, right? In one single set of dice rolls, probably can't avoid that 7, but can I avoid the 7 once every 24 days? Or once every 24 shooters, or once per shooter? Can I pick my spot? And with no rhyme or reason to it. I'm going to YOLO right now. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is every time I go to the casino, I'm going to take whatever my total every time I left the last time, plus what I won, and I'm going to simulate it here, but pretend each time I take a win, it's me going home and going back for a new session. Me going home and coming back for a new session. We're going to go from $64 to 3,200 here in 24 rolls. That's going to be the plan. I'm going to show you how this works. And I'm going to warn you in advance, this won't be the most exciting or fast thing. I'm going to roll the dice just right here, because I don't care about the back wall or anything else. I'm just going to roll out and see what we get. We're going to play this thing as it goes. I'm not going to care about the puck, because it's a one roll gambit every time we try it. I'm just going to roll up to a table, drop my money out, YOLO, and see what happens. So here we are at 64 across. I just rolled a 9. Okay, we walked up, we rolled a 9. Right, 9 pays $14. And what I'm going to do is on every single roll, what I will do is move a chip from the back of the rack to the front of the rack to note that's one roll. We're gonna go for 24 rolls here and see where we land. So first roll happened, $14 win, and I'm also always going to press from the inside out. I'm just gonna do pineapple press every single time, and we're gonna build up our whole rack that way. So the $14 is gonna become an $18 6 and 8, and that's roll number 1. And like I said, I go home, I come back the next day, I buy in for whatever this is, 78 bucks, right? I'm gonna take the chips with me, come back in. Next day, try it again, different shooter. Middle of the roll, I walk up, can that guy avoid the 7 for me? Well, we get an 11 here, right? We're just gonna do it. And like I said, I'm gonna ignore the 7s. If I get 7s here, I'm not gonna care. I'm just gonna ignore them because I want you to see the progression of the bet. So now we're on a 4-2-6, which will pay us, of course, $21, okay? That's roll number 2. And because we're on 2, we're gonna press up the 5 and the 9. And now we're out here, we'll take a buck back to our rack. And we're gonna go, again, home, come back, roll number 3, and I'm just gonna keep repeating the process here as we go. There's another yo. And I will note, by the way, I'll put the 7s out here as we go to see how many times we would have got beat, but there's an 8. And again, that's gonna pay 21 bucks. Same thing, we're gonna go ahead and press, 21, not 16. We'll press the 4 and the 10. So we've pressed inside, middles, and outsides with each of our first 3 rolls. Start the process again. Come back again another day, buy back in for whatever this amount of money is. This is, I think, 96, 106, it's like 116 or something. I'll keep track of it as I go when I do this for real. Next guy shoots, there's the 7. We'll mark that out there so I know how many times it happens. But for the purposes of our show today, we're gonna pretend like 7s don't happen. We're gonna say what would happen if we did hit all the things. I want you to see how we get to that goal number. So we'll ignore the 7 there, and that one too. Wow, there's 2 7s. Did this last night, by the way, and I had exactly 4 7s out of 24. There's a 10. So here we are on roll 4. The 10 hits, and that'll pay 40 bucks. 20, 30, that is 40 bucks. 40 bucks for 1 in VIG. And that's why I've got some bankroll to kind of pay for the VIGs there. So now we're gonna go to the 6 and 8. We're gonna press the inside, the 6 and 8. So I've got 15, and I've got 20 to go to each one. Okay, that means I can get to 35, 36 bucks per. And we'll take $4 back to the rack. So these are now gonna be at $36. 35, hold on. Let's get quarters for those so it's clean. 25, 36 on the 6, and 36 on the 8. Okay, marked it up. Our next roll, there's a 6. That's awesome. That'll pay 42. And again, we'll do it like this. I'll pay 25, $42. Okay, we'll mark that as our next roll. And now we're gonna press to the 5 and the 9, and they can each get 20 bucks basically. I'll turn that in for quarters, or for nickels rather. I can give them each $20. Which puts them each up to 40 bucks. You'll see already we're kind of climbing up in the ranks here. So we got $40 here on the 5 and 9, 36 on the 6 and the 8. And our next roll, number 6, it's a 5. So 40 on the 5, right? Pays 56. Like so. We're gonna mark that up. And I'm sorry, that's gonna be our 6th roll, and we're pressing out to here now. So we're gonna give $6 back to the rack, and I will press up my 4 and 10 by 20 bucks each. Like so. That's gonna make them also look like 40. So we'll get, again, greens for them, and now they're up to 40 bucks. I got 2, the outsides and the mids up to 40, and the 6 and 8s, I took the money away there, up at 36. 6 rolls in, we're already at the over the green level coming through, which is pretty damn nice. So here we go. I don't know what these whites are, those are changed from before. Leave them in there. And it's nice I've got extra cash in here now that I can pay VIGs if I get them, and also if I need to power press to make a clean bet, I can use this to power press to make clean bet. I'm going to try and keep my bet numbers relatively sane if I can, so I keep the math easy. All right, aces don't matter. There's a 10. Okay, 40 bucks on the 10. That'll pay 80 bucks. Minus 2 for the VIG. And again, here we are on this one. We're going to press the 6 and the 8 up as far as we can. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look, I got 36. So I can go to at least 60. I may go a little higher than that. There's 60. I've still got 32. If I took those both to 90, which I can, let's get this. I'll take 5 nickels for that green. Let's make these both 90. I'll take these back to the rack here, and we'll get them a little bit of a power press up. I'll take a green and a nickel from the rack, and we'll get those jacked up nicely. Now they're at 90. So those got pumped up pretty good. But again, it took a little bit of juice out of here to do it. When we get paid again, we'll start filling the rack back up to make up for it. So there we go. There's an 8. Yowza, that pays 105. I love it. So again, 100 and 5. The 5 will go back to the rack. 50 each goes to the 5 and 9. They now are at 75, 90 bucks each on the 5 and 9. This is not a bad chance to pull a little bit back and make those even bets. We can keep it 90. You know, $90 5 and 9 is not a normal bet that you typically see. It's going to pay 126, which is weird, right? So in the interest of keeping things easy, not the worst thing to pull those back a little bit. Let's keep them up here. But just so you know, $90 is not a normal amount. So there's that one. That's that hit. Now we're going to go looking to press the 4 and 10. Again, 105 on the 8. There's 105 for the 8. We'll rack the nickel. We'll get the 4 and 10 pressed up by $50 each. That puts them both at 90 bucks as well. So now they're at 90, looking to pay 180. That's fantastic, and that one goes away. Now we're on roll, whatever this is, 369, roll number 10. Look how fast we're growing these things up by just doing a full press. There's another 8. That's going to pay again 105 bucks. Okay, they're already at 90, the 6 and the 8. So how far can we take these things and make it a clean bet? Well, 150 is the next really clean bet that you can do here. Let's go to, we can go to 100, 25. I guess we can go to, I think, what's a good clean bet for the 6 and 8 at that level? We can go to like, if we just go to 120, or let's go to 132. We'll go to 132. We can do that. 132, 125 is on there. 130, and we'll grab $2 out of the rack. We'll rack these nickels up here. We'll go to 132, and I'm going to get blacks for those to make it clean. 132 on the 6 and the 8, and there's that one. Next roll, another 8. So 132 is a weird amount again, but again, it's what you can get to. That's going to pay 154, which is nice. So I'll pay it in black, 150. We'll actually do 155 for 1. Okay, and we're going to press the 5 and the 9 up. So the way the 5 and 9s are going to press is this. We've got 75 on each. If I go to 150 here and 150 here, 160, we'll go to we'll leave them at 150. We'll take the reds back. We'll leave them at 150. That takes care of like pulling back the money that we jacked up on the 6 and 8 to make those bets better. So now 150 on the 5 and 9. Awesome. We'll mark that roll up. And we got our 7. Okay, that's cool. 3 7s. Again, not worrying about the 7s. There's a 4. Finally, a 4 pays off. And what we got on the 4 is 80 bucks or 90 bucks. So that will cost us, they'll probably round you up. It'll cost you a nickel and vig to make 180. Okay. And 180, we're going to jack up the 4 and 10 both by half of this, right? We're going to power press them both. So let's go let's see what we have here. We have 175. We can go to 150, and 150. And I've got 25, 30. Awesome. We'll go to 180 on both. That's great. Let me get a quarter for that. Sweet. They're at 180 now. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, 180. So they're jacked all the way up, and that's that one. Halfway through the process, everything's at black level. We got 180, 150, 132, 132, 150, and 180. So we're halfway to the purple level, starting at 64 across, right? Not bad. There's a 3, which don't matter. There's a 5, which does matter. So 150, right? That pays 210 bucks. Awesome. That's going to be a mark up here. How far can we go with 210 on the 6 and 8? Well, we can go to 225. We'll go to 240 on each. There's 240. I'll need to pull some money out of the rack to make that work. But there's 225, 230, 240 on the 6 and 8. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, that's a 9. Up in the rack, it's a 9. And 150 on the 9, right? That's going to pay 210. We'll mark that up as a next YOLO attempt. And let's bring the 9 and the 5 up to 250 each. We'll rack 10. Racking pennies over here. Racking this thing all the way to the ceiling. Here we go. 6. Okay, 240 on the 6 pays, as you know, 275, 280 on the 6. And with 180 on the 5 and 9, or I'm sorry, the 4 and 10, our next press is to the 4 and 10. We can go to 200. We can go to 50, 300, 50. We can go to 300 each on the 4 and 10, and they're about done. I'm gonna get these greens looking like blacks for us, and they're at 300 now, with a little bit of change coming back to the rack. So here we are, we're bringing some money back. We got these two almost at goal. These two are halfway to goal, and so are the 6 and 8. Everything's halfway there. We have 9 rolls left, 9 YOLOs left. Okay, there's another 6. Again, so 240 pays 280 bucks. Okay, we're at 250 on the 5 and 9. We'll go to 350, 375 on the 5 and 9. We'll take $30 back home. So 370 on the 5 and 9. Again, it's another non-standard amount there. It's weird. What does 370 pay? 370 is going to end up paying 518 bucks. It's a weird number, but that's the way it works out. But we're using all our money that we can get. Okay. So we just pressed. Oh, you know what? That should have pressed on the 6. We'll do the 6 and 8 next time. I missed one. We'll press 6 and 8 on the next roll. There's an 8. We missed out on one. That's my own fault. Again, 240 pays 280 on the 6 and 8. Now we'll press the 6 and the 8 up, and we'll go to 350, 360 bucks on the 6 and 8, and we'll take 40 bucks back home. So they'll be at 360 to pay 420 next time through. Racking some more. If we want to go heavy, we have money in the rack to get heavy if we need to. Not going to do it yet. We're going to stay right here. Our next YOLO roll, 3 craps. There's another 7. I'm going to make that clean. We'll mark up our 4th 7. Again, we're ignoring the 7s because we're just trying to get to what does it look like to get here. Can we do it? 11. Here's a really weird little trend. 4. Boom. 300 bucks on the 4 is going to cost you 15 big, by the way. And that's going to pay 600 bucks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 bucks. We're already at 3. I can give them each 200 bucks. Get them to 5. I can take the 5 and 9 each now, also to 475 bucks. They're basically done. In fact, I'm going to take out of my rack 50 bucks to make those hundreds, and we're going to max out the 5 and the 9. Bam, and bam, and that's out. So I'm going to take these blacks out of here. We're gonna go purples on the 10, the 9, the 5, and the 4. These should actually be looking like buy bets. And we're already at max bet there. We still have 6 rolls to go. There's a 3 craps. Whoops, in the rack. That was probably a 7. That's a 7 for sure. High number of 7s today, higher than normal, I would say. 3, 2, 5. Okay, 500. This is going to get easy. 500 pays 600. I'm sorry, 700. 700, which means I can get the 6 and the 8 now up to their max, which will be 500, 600, and I'm racking money now. Now everything I make from this point goes into the rack. So we're just going to rack up a black and some greens and some reds, and I'll clean up these to get myself to table max. And here I am at table max at my local casino, right there. And I made it with 6 rolls to spare. So from $64 across, max pressing, you can get to what I would consider to be table max. And I have now 6 rolls to go, and I'm just going to be on collect. We can't press anymore. We can only collect. I could do the put bet thing, but I'm at table max, and now we're just going to start bringing money back. So every time we do this, it's going to be 700 in here, and it's going to be $1,000 on the outside. So there's 5, 6, 7 for that one. This is ridiculous. There's a 4, which is $1,000. There's a nice $1,000 chip. And again, 500 is going to cost me $0.25 in VIG. I'll happily pay $0.25 for 1,000. I'll take that bet all day long. That's that one. There's another one. $0.25 for $1,000. Even trade as far as I'm concerned. We'll take that. Let's keep dodging it. There's a 6 that'll pay $700. Looking pretty good. 2 more rolls to go. There's a midnight for Waylon. There's an 8 for another $700. Rack is looking good. Last roll, the money shot. Money shot, of course, it's a 7, right? That's a lot of 7s today. We actually, again, in tight quarters here, there's another $1,000 for $0.25. Again, I'll take that trade all day long. So we had, looks like 7 7s today, which is more than you should see in 24 rolls. But again, it's one simple session of me rolling the dice 4 inches away from myself. Who cares about that? We'll talk about it in a minute. Let me get colored out and see what our total is. There's a nick or $10. Let's get these reds looking like color here. Here's 125. 125 from the reds. There's 75 from that. There's 3K in yellows. In blacks, we have 1,000 in black. And in purples, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4,500. So if I take the purples and make them look like yellows, that's $8,575 from 64 across in 24 rolls. Again, right, we would have gotten our ass kicked a few times here, right? But the point being, if you can pull that off, right? If you can actually get through 24 single shots, right? When I did the YOLO challenge the last time, I made it 18 shots without a 7. And it was, again, me walking up and just going, what's going to happen here, you know, and let's roll the dice until we get a result. And we dodged it, right? Here's a 10. We dodged it 18 times. I wonder if I can dodge it 24 times on 24 separate visits to the table. Probably not, but I can tell you this. When I go to Vegas for DiceCon, you can bet your sweet white asses that I'm going to take $64 every day, and I'm going to try that with my people. We're going to go to tables all day long. I'm going to be hopping in and out of tables because of visiting people. You can bet I'm taking $64 and I'm going to try and pick 24 different shots around the table with people that are playing and say, I trust you for one roll. Can you get me one number, please? And if I can get, 24 people to not hit a 7 on the one roll I ask them not to, I'm walking out of there with 8K, baby. And that's my new table. That is it. So there it is. I think that's pretty fun. Yeah, you're right? I would roll. Yeah, I threw a 7 today every 3.5 rolls. Terrible today, right? But again, I'm rolling from 2 inches away. I'm not really rolling. That was a bad result. And again, I wouldn't YOLO. It's not a YOLO. Let me go back to the screen here. It's not a YOLO if you're at the table and you're just press 24 times. You're gonna get your butt kicked. That's not a YOLO. A YOLO is walking up to a table, buying in for $637, putting it all across, taking one hit and walking away. That's a YOLO. That's like literally what I'm gonna do when I do these things. I'm gonna totally go jump in there and just take one shot at every table with every person, and that's gonna be the end of the story. It's insane. You're never gonna do this. You're never gonna get this to work, right? It's folly. That's why it's Friday Follies. I don't expect it to work, obviously, but it's gonna be fun to try. For 64 bucks, it's a $64 lottery ticket. That's how I'm looking at it. So we're gonna give it a shot. And I see there's some comments in here about playing a higher max bet table. Sure, higher max bet. Those last 6 rolls could have been, I could have had 1,000 on each number by the time we were done there. But my locals are $500 max, so that's the way that is. And Duracell's got a 5K max where you live. We're in Indian casino land out here, so our maxes are 500. It is what it is, right? You kind of play with you play with the limits you've got, and there it is. California Crafts, welcome to Fantasy Island. Yes, that 100% fantasy. There's no way that's going to work. But why? For 64 bucks, when I go to DiceCon, right? Here's why I picture this. Honestly, I picture going to DiceCon. I picture being at the tables. I picture, 85 people there that want to play craps. There's gonna be 4 tables, right? I also picture people wanting to talk and BS and have a whiskey with me and that kind of thing. So I think it's gonna be a lot of like, okay, I'm out for a minute, we'll talk, do a thing. And I've got the chips in my pocket. I'm gonna say, hey, wait a minute, YOLO time. I'm gonna jump in there, spread the waters, drop my money across. I trust you to throw me one number. They throw me the number, I take my chips and I go out and I keep drinking. Like that's how it's gonna go for me at DiceCon. If one of those people tosses a 7, it is what it is. It cost me $64 to give it the shot, and I'll start over again, right? Here locally, every time I go, I'm gonna just do it once. I'm just gonna walk up, either the first shot or the last shot of the day is gonna be the YOLO shot, and that's it. So it's just gonna be, like I said, it's a lottery ticket, and it's fun, and proof in the pudding, right? If you can survive 24 straight rolls, right? The secret to winning craps, by the way, I'm gonna write a book. The secret to winning craps is not to pass line with max odds. The secret to winning craps is beating the 7 for 27 straight rolls with a full press. If you can do that, the game is solved. I've solved craps for you. There it is. But no, that's again, it's a lottery ticket. I think it's going to be super, super fun to do, and I think that's going to be great. And that's it. That's my whole show today. I got nothing else to say. I wanted to show you how to get from $64 to $8,000. That was the goal, was to go from 64 to 7,000 was really the goal. You can totally do it, right? It can be done. And I will tell you this, right? The other day when we were at the casino, right? So Ian, who's here in chat with us, and we were at the casino, I rolled 39 times. There was only 2 7s the entire time. One of the 7s was a come out 7, so I wouldn't have been working. The other one was the last 7, right? Had we done this on that roll, we'd have made $7,000, right? That roll would have been this. It does happen, right? Not that I would bank on it, but it does happen. You get those magical rolls, and it's kind of fun. So anyway, I think it's fun. Duracell, by the way, and I had a couple of interesting chats yesterday. I think next week for Friday Follies, let's put you all on homework time, okay? And I think it came out during the chat here yesterday, and so we expanded on it. I want all of you all to give me your stupidest hedge strategy, right? We'll call it Hedgy the Hedgehog or something like that next Friday. It won't be next Friday, it'll be the Friday after, because next Friday I'm going to be in Vegas. But the Friday following, the Friday Follies following, we'll do the dumbest hedging we can do. Like I want to hedge like 7 bets all at the same time and see if we can't win $1. Like I want to spread it around as much as we can. So come up with your nuttiest hedging ideas, and we'll put them out here on the table, and we'll have fun next Friday with stupid hedges and, and I'm talking like, don't pass for 100, lay the hard 4, lay the 9, hop the 9, give me the hard 4, and everything possible so you can't lose. I want your best can't lose hedge strategies for next Friday. That'll be fun. And also, if you can think about it for me, I was going to say here, let me know if you want next week. So when I'm at DiceCon next week, and again, I'm going to be there from Friday night through next Wednesday. So there won't be any shows Friday night for me all the way through Wednesday. Live coffee and craps like this kind of show. I'm not going to have my setup, obviously. I'm going to be in a hotel room. But what do y'all want? Do you want like trip reports? Do you want me to give you like multiple during the day? You want like a morning recap kind of thing? Let me know in chat or let me know in Discord what you want to see. And I'll prep myself to bring that stuff. Like I'll bring my laptop maybe. I might bring my camera, I don't know, and get some good video of where we are and get some video of the people that we're doing. The other thing too is if you're going to be there, I think it's on Monday morning. I think it's Monday morning. Monday morning, I get to interview and hang out with Michael Feldman, who is a casino host, number one. He's also a Golden Touch teacher. So I'm going to get to ask somebody from Golden Touch for 2 45-minute sessions, any question I want. He's going to look at my throw. He's going to diagnose stuff. We're going to talk about dice control. Is it real? Is it bullshit? All the things, right? If there's anything you want to know from somebody who works for Golden Touch and teaches it, again, drop me notes in the comments or drop me notes better in Discord, and I can compile a list of our questions. And I don't want your questions to be, are you ashamed of charging money for snake oil? That's not a question, right? If you have a question about mechanics or why or what his real goals are or all of those, give me really good, thoughtful, grown-up adult questions. I will ask him. And it'll be a great session. I'll log the answers and I'll record some of it too. So that's a thing that I had the privilege of doing. And again, it's a chance to talk to somebody who does this. That's their job, right? So we can ask them questions that you can't ask me or George or anybody else because we're just a bunch of amateurs out here doing this. Somebody who's helped write a book and does teaching. Let's ask him questions you actually have. And I'm happy to pass the questions along and be wide open about it. And I'm going to go after him hard. You should know me by now. I did the dice control series. I'm not going to patty cake the thing, right? I'm going to really challenge him on physics. I'm going to challenge him on a lot of things that I question about it. I'm going to make him break slow-mo down for us and tell us why the slow motion car wreck works, right? I'm not going to let him just have a slide. So I want your legit questions to go along with mine, and we'll maybe in Discord we can sort of suss some of that stuff out, and I can get questions from you there. So, all right, what else do we have? Let me before I go to work. PC, I addressed this right. Sebastian says PC I threw 7 every 3.5 rolls. That's not my greatest rolling, but again, I wasn't really trying to roll good. I just wanted to see what the math looked like as we get up there. So. Anything else y'all want to know before I jet out of here and get ready? We're going to actually, on a personal note, we're going to go to see family for the weekend. I'm going to be taking off here in about an hour or so. We're going to run east of the mountains and visit some sisters and some grandparents and some parents and that kind of thing. So I got a weekend of just kind of chilling and no craps in my feature for the next 3 days, which is cool. So nuts and bolts wants trip updates. You want them every day? You want like I can do it all day long. So I'm probably going to play craps 30 times. There's no way of avoiding it. I can do constant updates, or I can do like a morning summary thing. And that's more what I'm asking for. Do you want like a morning summary? Do you want me to kind of like, hey, like Ken did, like a 5-minute or a 1-minute, pick the phone up and give you a quick update thing, like a news report? I can totally do that too. So you tell me what you all want and I'm at it. All right. Let's see. Waylon's call me. I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. I'll give you a copy of my books. I'm going to tell you something, dude. You can sell the Book of Waylon. You make the Book of Waylon a thing, go to Kinko's and print a bunch of copies of that now. I pay for it. I'll pay for the Book of Waylon, 100%. But anyway, I do think that getting questions asked of somebody who does it, I think is important. I think those of us who practice the art of dice influence or throwing or whatever you want to call it, we have one view of it. We're hopeful that we can make it work. We're trying to dial in a toss and maybe get ourselves an extra, maybe make the YOLO work. Maybe my whole goal in life is to make the YOLO work, right? They've got a different mindset, right? And I want to know, are you selling a dream, right? Or is there truth to it? Because there's a difference in that answer, right? There's a difference to it. Like, you know, I don't know. I want to find the right wording around that question. So I want to get to an answer. I want to make sure I don't get a non-answer from him. I want to make sure I dial it in and get a positive, like tactical answer that we can all kind of sink our teeth into one way or the other. I want him to address the studies. I want him to address all the things. I want to be serious about it. I don't want to just be there like, you know, like a fanboy kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm asking you for what do you want to know from somebody who that's their job. He's also a casino host. So I'm hoping that our time together goes well because I've never really had a casino host. I don't believe in the whole comp thing. I'm a non-comper for lots of reasons, but you know, you make a friend and you get free room every so often. That's not a bad thing either. So I think it's kind of cool to make that connection. I think he's helping a lot of people out with this convention and getting them some rooms. So there you are. So let's say, I think that's it. I'm done. I got to get to work. I mean, I'm going to be working for a couple hours. I'm going to pack my stuff, get out of here, hang with the family. I will miss you all tonight. I wish I could. I might be able to watch the Friday night fights, but Jeff's going to deal it out. I think Dice Degen, I think, is going to be the box. I think either him or Chris from Sideshow will be the box person tonight. I'm just going to be a visitor. If I can get in there, I will get in there. I think it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to, if not seeing it live, to seeing what happens because these are two guys now. We got to meet Eddie last week. Badger, I know from Color Upside, so I think it's going to be fun to kind of watch how it all plays out. So I'm stoked for it. Anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. Love y'all. Thanks for all your support. And I want to call somebody out. Can I just say this real quick? I'm sorry. I'm gonna put up a random comment that means nothing. I'm gonna put up Jay saying TY. I know he was thanking somebody else, but I'm gonna put this up here because JR wrote me a really nice note last night. And I'm gonna call you out for this because a lot of times in the comment section of these videos, I get into it with people, right? And PJ was one that, you know, I kind of go back and forth with. And Jay said some really great things to me yesterday. And I think what you all think, right? He's like, I wish I could change your bets. I wish I could change some of the things you say, but you're a good showman. You got a good brain for this thing. I like the way that you do it. I like the way you present. And he appreciates his time with me. And I'm telling you what, it kind of makes me feel like this is worth it, right? 600 videos into this thing. I feel like we're doing the good thing. And I don't want to be just a showman. I want to give you good value and I want to give you good information and hopefully help you be able to play better, safer as we go. But I'm not going to get it all right all the time. I'm not going to deal perfect. I'm not going to say perfect things. I'm not going to make the best strategies. I won't make the best decisions out here. Some days I make decisions that I'm going to stay the course when I should be bouncing off. But to hear from somebody that I have a lot of respect for, give me respect back and say, yeah, keep doing it. You're doing a good job. Don't worry about it. Dan DVD says it all the time to me too. He's like, hey, don't feel bad about your dealing. Don't feel bad about that loss you took. We appreciate your time. I appreciate your time. So we got, between the two channels, 3,000 subscribers, and you guys give me an hour a day of your undivided attention for the most part. I can't even say it. Like, I love y'all. Waylon says it every day on his show. I love y'all. He loves y'all. We love you. I mean, why else would I get up every day? I'm not doing this, you know, for my health, obviously, right? I just like hanging out and making friends. That's why I'm so stoked for DiceCon. I want to get to DiceCon, and I know I can't meet all of you there, but I'm going to meet about a third of you there, which is cool. And, you know, maybe at the Craps-a-thon, more of us can meet. And I just think we've built some good friendships here. And I'm really loving the fact that we're all good friends. And I think that this is, I'm happy that I can facilitate some of that. So with that said, I'm out. You guys have a great weekend. Love y'all. And Waylon, I'll say it for you. Roll Tide.